back. Thank you so much for joining me again. I don't know, I'm feeling some kind of way this morning. Like, I feel like the energy has just really, something's changing. I feel it very strongly. But I also feel this need to restrain myself from really, I don't know, I feel like I need to just take a step back and be an observer of everything right now and not really do anything or make any reactive moves, but just to kind of observe what Spirit is doing. And so that's where I'm at. And I had a really great day yesterday. Honestly, yesterday was probably one of the best days I've had in a long time. I went back and rewatched the video from yesterday morning. And what in the world? I went back and rewatched the video from yesterday morning. I don't know what he's barking at. It's always something when I start these videos. He starts barking at whatever. Anyway, I took notes on what needed to be surrendered, and then I used that in my meditation, which worked really well. And hopefully we'll get a good message again today. My hand is itching for some reason also. Anyway, let's get started. Can you please say a prayer for Miss Mary? She has developed a cough, and her daughter's going to take her to the doctor. And also for my friend who's going through some very, very serious medical stuff and doesn't have access to the same kind of medical care that the rest of us have. So if you could please send some healing vibes that way also, I would really, really appreciate it. And thank you for continuing to pray for me, because I'm still going through this bad toothache, and it's causing me to have like sinus problems and that kind of stuff going on. But I'm fine. I'm really fine, and I'm going to be fine. Holy Spirit, can you please guide this reading? Can you please speak to our hearts and minds? Can you give us divine protection? Can you give us a message this morning that will help us to get through the next 24 hours? And we love you so very much, and thank you for all that you do for us every single moment of every day. What virtues are going on right now in the collective? What virtues are we... what virtues are you working on? Thank you so very much. Awesome. Compassion and integrity. Compassion and integrity. Oh, and the bottom of the death is our faith, baby. Alright, compassion, seeing a need and choosing to help. Integrity is doing what is right even when no one is looking. And faith is knowing and loving and following Spirit. And if you're of the Christian faith, you can replace it with Jesus or Buddha or Allah or whatever faith you have. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to leave it on faith. And I'm excited this morning to see how Spirit is working in our lives with these psychic cards, because they were amazing. And I don't know about you, but oh, the Lovers. Hold the phone. I don't know about you, but yesterday when I looked at this picture, what stood out to me the most was her. Her. So maybe that was saying something to me. I don't know if anybody else, if that's what stood out to you, was the woman that's juggling. But that's what stood out to me. So anyway, and look what came out this morning. First card out, the Lovers. Alright, Spirit. And I think some of us are about to have some choices that we haven't had before. Some decisions to make that we never thought we would. I don't know where that came from, but we'll see what comes out. Alright, Spirit, what you doing today, baby, with our psychic abilities? Somebody's got coins here, and somebody's done lost their marbles. And I love to read intuitively. I read intuitively, but Spirit is teaching me to actually look up the meanings to these things. I got coins and celebration, y'all. Look at there. Oh, baby. Like it a lot. I like it a lot. Alright, one more time, Spirit. Let's get going here. Oh, somebody might be celebrating a baby. If you are, congratulations. Uh-oh, my candle's getting sideways over here. Candle, what you doing, baby? Stand up straight now and pay attention. We're trying to do a reading. Thank you. Alright, Holy Spirit, how are you working in our psychic abilities? What are you trying to teach us about our psychic abilities in the collective? Oh, honey, Spirit is really working on our psychic abilities. Thank you so much, Spirit. Spirit guides. Oh, beautiful, Spirit. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. This is exactly what I needed today. Spirit guides, ancestors, ascended masters. Please, archangels, come and help me with this message. I know you're already here. You're just reminding me you're here. I love it. I love it, y'all. Look up there. Look at this card, y'all. Look at those beautiful spirit guides. Can you just imagine who's helping us with our spiritual life? Some of us think we're so weak and so powerless. But if we could just see who we had in our corner. Beautiful. The number 3. You might be seeing the number 3 a lot right now. This is absolutely beautiful. And some of you might feel like you've lost your marbles a little bit for believing in this kind of thing, but it's real. And I have a feeling that they're about to show off up in here today. I'm going to go one more time, y'all, because Spirit, that's a lot, though. Spirit, are you working any other way in our lives than Spirit Guide? Which is a lot, baby. We're thankful. Nature. Beautiful, y'all. Dang, man. This is beautiful. Oh, and the juggler again on the bottom of the deck. Spirit said to go one more time. 5 plus 2 is 7. So right now we've got, we got a lot, y'all. Oh my goodness. Should I take them all, Spirit? Bag of marbles. Doorways. Infinity. And loved ones in spirit, y'all. A dragonfly. Holy cow, look at that dragonfly. Oh, baby, this is beautiful. This is a message in itself right here, y'all. I'm not even kidding you. And yes, we're going to take the time to figure out what all this really means, because these cards were written, oh, baby, the phoenix on the bottom of the deck, y'all. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, thank you for helping me with this message. I love you, love you, love you, and I acknowledge your presence with us today. I invite everyone, spirit guides, who want to come here and help me with this message to do so. Alright, so number 30. Spirit guides. Your spirit guide has been with you through many lifetimes. Feel the connection. And I definitely am reading this whole thing. You have received this card from the universe to let you know that your spirit guides are waiting to interact with you right now. We are all spirit beings living an earthly experience. Prior to incarnating into the earthly realm, we resided above within the universal realm. Once you incarnated onto the earthly realm, you forgot where you came from prior to this lifetime. The Spirit Guides Psychic Reading card is a gentle reminder that your Spirit Guides want you to know they have and always will be with you throughout your past, current, and future lifetimes. Your Spirit Guide has your highest interest at heart. They are always by your side and will never interfere with your current lifetime, as you always have free will. However, your guide might give you a gentle nudge to give you insight into choices you have before you. As you are an earthly being, you always have the choice of proceeding or not proceeding in any particular direction, whether or not you feel that choice is good or bad for you. What is most important to remember is that there are no mistakes in your life's path. Every experience you encounter in life is an evolvement of your soul's journey to enlightenment. The universe and your spirit guides will offer you choices to allow you to learn. Focus on what learnings you wish to achieve in this lifetime and what you feel you didn't finalize in your previous lives. This will allow you to progress spiritually and enhance your connection to the universe and the spiritual realms. Be settled in the knowledge that your spirit guides have your best interest at heart to allow you to learn and grow into the spiritual being you were born to be. Beautiful, y'all. Spirit's just reminding us that we have spirit guides, and maybe some of us don't understand what that is. But I encourage you to learn more about this. And I also want to say that part of the reason why I do these videos, the daily messages, is because we can simply clear karma by learning the lessons like this if we pay attention instead of having to learn everything the hard way. So take it as it resonates, I guess. But I prefer to learn my lessons through book learning and watching other people sometimes than just having to go through everything the hard way. But we have to go through those hard times too. Don't get me wrong. But I think we can make those times less if we will listen to spirit. Okay, nature, number 25. The universe is calling you to go outside and connect. And I'm not going to read that whole thing because we understand what that means. Spirit wants you to get outside. Just to walk outside. Connect with spirit. You can connect better outside than you can indoors. If you can't get outside, then just go outside in your mind. Get lost in your imagination. Bag of marbles. Focus, center, and be organized. You have received this card as a sign from the universe that you need to relax and focus on the smaller details in your life. At times, life can be overwhelming with its fast pace. Do you ever feel stressed, disorganized, forgetful, scattered, or unprepared? This is a sign the universe is letting you know you need to slow down and recenter your thoughts and emotions in order to calm your soul. This card represents you being scattered and that you may feel you are losing your marbles. It could be indicating it's time to focus. You are trying to do too many things at once and are distracted. You need to ground yourself to regain your clarity. You or a family member are having memory issues. This card can also represent a loved one in spirit who may have suffered from memory loss issues such as dementia or Alzheimer's. If this card comes up during a reading connected to a loved one or in spirit, it can be a sign from them that they have healed since passing over to the spirit world and have their memory marbles back. The universe can sometimes show me this psychic symbol via a bag of marbles with a hole in it where the marbles are dropping out one by one. This symbol is a message that you need to focus and pay attention to the challenges you are currently experiencing in your life to regain your clarity. And I will say that my grandmother passed away and she had Alzheimer's. And she literally didn't remember any of us when she left this world. But apparently maybe she's connecting, and maybe it's a lot of our loved ones that had dementia or Alzheimer's coming back to tell us that they've got their memory back. And they've gained some clarity since they left. But I'm going to take this to mean that I need to slow down and gain some clarity in my own life. Remember I said earlier that I wanted to take a step back and just kind of look to see what Spirit is doing. And I think Spirit is just clarifying to me what I've already said to myself, is that I need to take a step back and look, watch, just be an observer of what's going on in every detail of my life to see where I need to tighten things up. Okay? And then Spirit's showing us doorways, y'all. Number 11, doorways. Beautiful. Doorways. Doorways are opening and shutting for a reason. Be open to the signs. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Remember I said that some things were opening up to us that had never been opened before? This is what I'm talking about. You have received this card as the universe wants you to be aware of the opportunities that are being presented to you and those that are closing for a reason. Sometimes a doorway shutting in front of you is a pathway to a new opportunity. Everything happens for a reason, even if at times you don't like or understand what that reason is. The universe has given you the psychic reading doorways card to help you understand that you have choices being presented to you at the present time. Now is a very important time to stop, think, assess, and focus. Think about what it is you truly want to experience, feel, or achieve. Do you want a new job? Do you want to study or change your career path? Do you want to move? Do you question your current relationship? Do you want to find a partner? Do you want to go on a holiday? Do you worry about money? This card is a reminder that you do not need to rush to make a decision about the opportunities or challenges that are being presented to you right now. Focus on what feels right in your solar plexus and heart chakra. As a spiritual being living a human experience can be very challenging at times, your rational brain always tries to take control and infer what makes sense. However, this may not be what feels right in your soul. Pay attention to the psychic symbols around you as they are guiding you to walk in the right direction so that the right doorways open at the most opportune time to enlighten your soul's journey. If you are feeling frustrated and the doorway of life are not opening as you would like, it is because the timing is not right. You need to be patient, and when it is time, proceed. The right doorways will open for you. The most important thing to remember is to not force any doorways open. It is staying shut for a reason. If you force your way through, the outcome may not be what you had wished for. And I'm kind of starting to feel in an area of my life that the door is not opening for a reason. Or the door is, it's time to get out of certain areas of my life because that's not where I'm supposed to be anymore. And there's a door open so I can leave that area of my life now. But I need not to make any rash decisions, but rather to take this step back, see, and allow the psychic world around me to show me the way. And these spirit guides, nature, and this refocusing is going to help me to see these doorways. And then we have infinity, which is very exciting to me, number 18. Your connection to the universe is limitless. You have received this card as the universe wants to inform you that you are blessed with the gifts of an abundant and never-ending connection to source energy. Infinity is a natural state of being. You are connected to a limitless supply of life-changing energy in whatever way, shape, or form you require. The most important thing to remember is that what you think, you create. This card represents the infinite connection to the universe and all that is contained within it. Infinity can come in the form of infinite abundance, connection, love, health, joy, peace, finances, and happiness, just to name a few. When a loved one passes away, their love for you is infinite and has the power to always connect with you through time and space. This card will reassure you that love has no beginning and no end, and that their love never dies. Receiving the Infinity card represents new beginnings and new connections to the universal abundant source energy. Have you ever thought or questioned whether or not your life path will improve? Do you wonder why things in your life seem to be challenging? Do you ever see the number 8, which is the universe's psychic sign that abundance and source energy is on its way into your life? The universe has given you this card to reaffirm your connection and to remind you that anything is possible and situations in your life can always improve and change for the better. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So remember that when you see the number 8. Okay, and now, I mean, like, we were just talking about it in here. Right here, it says, when a loved one passes away, their love for you is infinite and has the power to always connect with you through time and space. And look what's next, y'all. Loved ones in spirit. Some of our loved ones in spirit, they want us to know that their loved has not died and that they're still with us. I'm promising you that the main reason why this channel, Dreaming Dragonfly, because if you look up the meaning of dragonflies connect us to the spirit world. And they are born underwater, and they come up out of the water, go out into the world, and they can go back down. They can go back and forth between the spirit world and the physical world, between the 5D and the 3D. They are the only spirit animal that I know of that can do that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But when I remember I did a Facebook post when I was going through like the height of my spiritual awakening, when I was in that I've lost your marbles phase. And I literally was making Facebook posts and like, what? I would be like, why did you just post that? Jesus, have mercy. You know, people are going to think you've lost your mind. But it was like I didn't have any control. It was like something was controlling me. And one day I made a Facebook post and I told them that I was going to have a YouTube channel. And it was going to be like any other YouTube channel ever. And that I was going to prove to them that our loved ones are not gone. And so apparently that's the reason, one of the reasons why Spirit made this channel even here, is so that people would know that there's hope. And that when our loved ones die, they're not gone. So maybe that's what's happening now. Spirit wants to show us that the loved ones we have in spirit are still with us. Anyway, so that was just a funny little story that happened to me. But when I posted that, I was like, Spirit, why would you have me post that? I don't know how to do all of that. Spirit was like, I got you, baby. And Spirit has definitely had me. Love never dies. We are always as one. You have received this card as the universe and your loved ones in spirit want you to know that life never ends and spirit endures all. We often find it hard to talk about death, and many of us don't want to acknowledge that one day we will experience death ourselves. When a loved one leaves the earth realm, we miss them terribly and sometimes find it hard to go on without them. You have received this psychic reading card as your loved ones in the spirit realm have heard your prayers and noticed your attempts to try to make contact with them. Your loved ones want you to know that they are always by your side and their love for you still exists. This card is a gentle reminder to pay attention to the subtle signs your loved ones and the universe have been sending your way to let you know that life and love lives on beyond the earthly realm. How many times have you had a feather float down before you? Have you smelt your loved one's perfume, aftershave, cooking, or other fragrant connection to them when you were thinking about them or speaking about them? Have you seen number sequences of their birthday or repetitive numbers such as 1111, 333, 888, and so on? Do car numbers, plates with your loved one's name, nickname, or initials appear before you? Does your loved one's favorite song play on the radio or appear in an advertisement when you are thinking about them? Do you ever dream about your loved ones and the dream is so real you feel you are still alive and they are still alive and with you on the earthly realm? Have you heard your loved one call your name, or have you seen them with your physical eyes? This card is a reassurance that you are not imagining things. You are being contacted from above by your loved ones in spirit to let you know they are always close by and their love for you will live on forever. And I have had all of these experiences and more. And I hope that you have too. And if not, this is just probably an acknowledgement to you that you're going to begin to have those experiences. And I was actually going to say before I even read that card that I have never seen a YouTube channel where somebody channels loved ones. And I don't have any control over it. Like when somebody comes through or is allowed to come through, I can't like summon that. I guess I can. I've just never tried. But I've had them come through real strong. Real strong. But most people that do tarot and that are mediums and so forth don't even go into that arena. Like, they steer clear of that side of things. And I don't know why, because that's one of the most amazing and beautiful aspects of these gifts, is that we can still connect with our loved ones who are crossed over. And so I don't know why people steer clear of that. Maybe because of their own fear of dying. I don't know. Or maybe it's the fear of getting information. Because I didn't have the luxury of not getting it, because Spirit gave me premonitions about my sister's death. And so that was like the most profound thing ever. And for that to happen, it made it so I could not deny the gift. I could not deny that I had the gift. And neither could other people, because they knew I had done it too, because I had told them prior to it happening that I had these premonitions. So anyway, maybe you're going through something similar where you have these gifts also. And look at this sage, y'all. Jesus have mercy. Okay, Phoenix over here, number 27. It's like starting to like relight on its own. I don't even remember lighting the sage. Did I light the sage? Or just the palo stick? I'll have to look back at the video. It is your time to rise and begin again. You have received this card as the universe wants you to know that no matter what challenging experience you have had in the past, they are now behind you and you have the ability to rise above them. The Phoenix card represents regeneration and new beginnings. That would be like the Fool card. It is about overcoming the darkness and rising up to the challenges of whatever has been holding you back from your future. This card is a general reminder that you are like the mystical phoenix, which rose from the ashes and was born again. You have the ability to be powerful and succeed in light of what challenges whatever challenges are put before you. Have you been feeling stuck and blocked with your spiritual journey? Have you found it difficult to let go of issues from the past? Do you feel that everything in your life seems to be going wrong? Do you question when will it be your time to shine? Do you feel like you don't have the power and ability to achieve your goals? It is time to change your mindset. The Phoenix is a symbol of power, strength, determination, and renewal. It is time to make the challenges of your life, the changes to your life that you have been procrastinating over. Now is the time to begin again. You are an extremely powerful being, and the universe wants to remind you that you have all that you need to face any challenge before you. It is time to believe in yourself and know that you are an amazing, gifted being of the universe who can and will make a difference to the world. Call on the strength of the Phoenix and begin your journey of renewal today. Y'all, these cards are simply amazing. And I think that was just one message in itself. So I'm going to move these over here. But we are embarking on a new journey, y'all. And a lot of us, I think, on this channel that are together, we're here for a reason, because we have kind of been the underdog. I know that part of my life purpose is to detach from relationships, significant relationships. And the fact that that is the case, that my life purpose, that my North Node and my ascending purpose is to detach and become an independent person, it's meant a lot of broken, effed up relationships, important relationships that, like my mother, my father, my children, my siblings. I don't think I've ever had a truly good relationship with any of those significant people. And I was at my mom's house not long ago. Spirit help me. And me, my mom, and my daughter were sitting on the back porch. And my daughter was talking about something stupid that I did 13 years ago. And you know, it struck me out of nowhere, because I'm used to them bringing my past up and throwing my past in my face. I'm used to that. That's nothing new. And I've gotten to the point where it doesn't bother me. Truly doesn't bother me at all. But it just struck me out of nowhere. And it was like it flew out of my mouth before I could even... And it happens to me quite frequently when I'm around my family, that something will come out of my mouth before I can stop it. And I said to her, you know, I said, your therapist needs to be fired. Because she goes to therapy. She was like looking at me with her head kind of cocked sideways. Her and Mom both were. And I said, I've gone to treatment. I've been living clean and sober. I've kept a job. And when I've left a job, I've always had another job in place until this last job. And then I've started my own business and found a job. I was not without a job for very long. I raised you under my roof and took very good care of you. And we had a very tight bond at one time. Like, it's only been in the last year or so that you didn't respect me and treat me like I was the world to you. I overcame an abusive alcoholic husband. I went back to college and got my master's degree. I bought a home and never missed a payment. I walked away from that home to be healthy and to take care of myself. I mean, I've done all of these amazing things, and all you can think about is something fucked up I did 13 years ago. Your therapist should be fired. You know, why can't you focus on at least something positive that I've done in the last 13 years when there's so many things to choose from, but you continue to keep going back to the thing that happened 13 years ago that you were too small to even freaking remember. Somebody's had to tell you. Because literally she's only 15. You know, and there comes a point in life when you're having these types of relationships when you have to put people in their places. Because enough is enough. I'm not going to continue to lay down and be your doormat so you can fucking walk all over me every time I'm in your presence. Either you love me and you want to be a part of my life, or deuces. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's time for me to find people who love me, who have faith in me. And this can be a lonely path to walk. But who told you it wouldn't be? Last time I checked, we were going to be persecuted for our faith. And wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and narrow is the one that leads to eternal life. And infinity is about eternity, right? Just saying. Anyway, I don't know why I got off on that tangent, but I made up my mind that day that I was no longer going to allow somebody to hold me hostage. And maybe that was, you know, it's hard to accept the fact that your relationships are karmic, that your family relationships are karmic. But if you're here, you're probably experiencing much the same. And let's face it, right now the universe is shaking up karmic relationships and moving us away from them. That's what's happening right now. And you can either allow that to happen now, or you can come back here again a year from now and allow it to happen then. But the universe is going to keep presenting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for us to learn the lessons we have to learn and to move forward towards our destiny. And my destiny is not to be held hostage by somebody for something they can't even remember because some bitter old woman was intended to be a karmic relationship for me. And karmic relationships are some of the hardest relationships to let go of. But the purpose of a karmic relationship is to let go. And a lot of us are trying to hold on to them still. It's time to let go. That's the lesson with a karmic relationship, is to let go. You've learned everything you can learn from that person. It's time to let go. You know? And in some situations, if it is a mother or a sibling or a child, you have to learn how to live with that person and detach from that person, which is what I'm having to do. And that's even harder than being able to just cut the cord. And sometimes you may even have to do that for a while until you get strong enough in your own self-worth and in your own self-respect that you can allow yourself in limited quantities of time to be around somebody who treats you like shit. Because I've given up on the idea that that person's going to change. Because if it is truly my karma to detach from people, why would they change? I'm the one who's supposed to change. And they're learning a lesson on their end as well. Anyway, we're going to go on into the message now. But for some reason, somebody needed to hear that besides me. And now that's the end of that. Okay. My sage, I don't remember lighting it. I'm sure I did, but it's just been burning off the chain over here. Spirit, how are you working in the overall tarot energy for this collective? Thank you for your divine protection. Thank you for showing me what I need to see today. Temperance in reverse. The emotion I was just feeling. Fed up. Fed up. Oh, baby. And there's that fool. That phoenix. There's that phoenix. Ooh. And look at all those eyes on that phoenix. Look at all those eyes. Boogity, boogity, boogity. All those feathers. There's a lot of eyes on you, baby. There's a lot of people watching you. And look at your gifted hands. Look at your gifted hands. And some of y'all's ears are talking like a duck. Whatever that means. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Alright, let's see how the let's see how the angels are working. Angels, how are you working in our home lives? Power. Power. They're giving us power, y'all. They're giving us the ability to stand up to some shit. Like a superhero. Thank you. That's one sexy-ass angel standing beside her. Some of you might have blonde hair. You might have brown hair with a beard and a mustache. Alright, how are you working in our love lives? Clarity and encouragement. Clarity and encouragement. Alright, what's our surprise for today, Spirit? Wisdom. Wisdom. How are you helping us with my role or our role, Spirit? Dang, that's a lot of cards, Spirit. Music. Grounding. Past issues. And health. I mean, but damn, that's what we need, isn't it? This could be mental health. It could be physical health. A lot of us have health problems right now. Whatever it is, it's okay. You could be dealing with anxiety, depression, rheumatoid arthritis. Some of us might even have cancers or other chronic, debilitating illnesses. Alright, and what's going to be the outcome of the next 24 hours, Spirit? How are the angels going to help us with the outcome? I think somebody's a runner. The angel of the universe. That is beautiful. That reminds me of the doorway. Spirit's about to open some doors, baby. Spirit is about to open some doors, and it's going to be through planetary alignments. And there's faith again. Faith, faith. Spirit's just saying trust. Look at the planets. Look at Saturn. You see Saturn? Look. Look, 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 look. There's planets aligning here. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Because of the wonderful things he does. We're going to see the wizard. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Alright, y'all. This is a beautiful message again today. Let's find out why Temperance is in reverse. Spirit, you want to use this deck? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Let me stick this in the windowsill so it'll go out the window. Alright, why is Temperance in reverse, Spirit? Because we're about to have victory. Triumph. We're going to be triumphant. We're going to be triumphant. We're going to get over this shit one way or the other. We are going to get over this one way or the other. Otto's about to start barking. I want to look at something else right quick. Triumph and spiritual strength is what I have so far. Okay? And this is exactly what we've been talking about. Triumph and spiritual strength. Let's see what needs to be surrendered right quick. What needs to be surrendered in our home life, Spirit, for us to have this power? Silence. We need to be quiet for a few minutes. Meditate, contemplate, let go, and enter the stillness so we can heal and replenish. Allow healing to come into these areas that I was just talking about that are broken and that we have hurt over, that we've been wounded through, and just know that we got to get through this. No matter how significant these relationships are, we have to figure out a way to get over them. Alright, how about our love life with this encouragement and clarity? What do we need to surrender? So we have to surrender some denial. Some of us have denial. Some of us might not understand that these relationships are karmic, because for some reason somebody's told us that a karmic relationship is bad. That is not true. Karmic relationships are some of the most beautiful relationships we will ever have in our lives, because they are here to teach us lessons. One of the hardest things for me to ever do was to let go of my ex, to let go of my children. How can you let go of your children? Well, I didn't really have much choice. I did everything within my power to be the person I needed to be to raise my children, and I was still not allowed that privilege, because it wasn't meant for me to be allowed that privilege. I was meant to learn to detach from that privilege. Don't ask me why. You cannot fight fate and destiny. You can try, but you'll be right back here again on the next go round, because the world will continue to turn, and you'll have to come back here and you'll have to surrender these relationships eventually. And some of us have denial. We have to accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. And then you can see things clearly. You can have this clarity and make the best decision. And that's going to mean letting go of some people that are going to be hard as hell to let go of. Alright, how about our surprise today? What do we need to surrender for this surprise to happen in our lives? Surrender the idea that you can fix anybody. There's no way you can fix anybody. It's time for this relationship to shift. They are accountable for their own healing. And you're going to wise up to the fact that you can't fix this relationship. It's gone, it's over, it's dead. It's time to walk away. As much as you want this person in your life, they're not going to be in your life. They were never meant to be in your life. They were only meant to teach you the lessons that you needed to learn. Twin flame or not. Twin flame, child, parent. I mean, twin flame, swim flame. I'm talking about my babies, my mother, my father, my sister. With those relationships, I didn't have a choice. Some of them crossed over. I had to detach from the need to have this person in my life. That's what my whole life lessons have been about. Is detaching from people. Significant people. And have I ever had I have never had anybody to love me the way I've loved others. And that's not saying that to feel sorry for myself, because I don't. I'm not a victim here. But it's just the truth. And apparently I was never meant for that to be the case. Does that mean that's always going to be the case? Maybe I'll learn these lessons and somebody will come along later. But hell, I'm 50 years old. Not that the best of my life is behind me, but the best of my sex life definitely is. I mean, just saying, once you hit menopause, things change. I'm sure there's still going to be a few more good times, though. Don't get me wrong. But there's nobody even on the radar. Alright, and how about our role today? What do we need to surrender for our role? We need to surrender to miracles and be open that something amazing can happen without us doing a damn thing. Surrender to sleep and rest. Surrender to what is. And surrender your desire to control people. These cards couldn't be any more perfect if I sat down and calculated them out. You're on fire today, Spirit. You are on fire. Fire, fire. Shut up in my bones. Okay. And the outcome. What do we need to surrender for the universe to be the outcome? All the angels in the universe have our back, y'all. The planets are aligning for something real amazing. Unhealthy relationship. Boom, y'all. Mic drop. Damn it, Spirit. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Surrender to this psychic shit that's going on inside of you. Listen to the messages your body is giving you about a person or situation. If they're draining you or making you uncomfortable, that's a red flag. If they make you energized and happy, move forward. That's how we work through this denial. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This has just been a very different message, but this is what we needed. Alright, do we want to pull any more tarot on this? Why is the Fool here? Do I use these or these? we going to be victorious over, Spirit? I see what we're going to be victorious over. These people. Oh, baby. Look at this, y'all. This is that Ace of Cups. Spirit is fixing to give us a love that's going to come out of left field. All right, Spirit. I'm just going to sit back and wait and watch, because you're telling me just to take a nap, accept things the way they are, don't try to control anybody, and just know that there's a miracle about to happen. Let go of all this unhealthy stuff and open your hands for this new love, because it's coming. And just maybe love yourself. Maybe just love yourself for a minute and just enjoy not having any unhealthy shit. Alright. What else do you want to say? Why is the Fool on the bottom of the deck? Because we're about to have this new beginning, y'all. Why is the Fool on the bottom of the deck? It's so hard to let go of your family and your loved ones. That was determined to come out. Because we're about to have some partnerships and alliances. And that's what I was about to say. Is it's hard to let go of an unhealthy relationship, because you know when your family, you know, your blood, they have your back no matter what. But Spirit is saying, I'm going to give you somebody new that is going to love you in a healthy way, and that is never going to let anything happen to you. They are going to have your back, but you're not going to need it, because you're going to have your own back. It's not about needing it. It's just about knowing that somebody has your back no matter what. There could be some racial differences here, of course. There's always differences, but who gives a damn? We're all the same. Alright. Thank you for this partnership and this new love. It could just be self-love with partnerships and alliances. Alright, anything else you want to say? Dang, I don't even know what to say here. Victory. There's some shadow work because some wishes are about to be fulfilled. The truth is going to come out. You're going to have some material changes, and you need to be patient. Why do we need to be patient, Spirit? There's a lily here. Because this is exactly what I was saying a while ago. Because these relationships that are karmic, that are hard to let go of, people need space to heal. People need space to heal because they're going through a very powerful release. And it's not healthy to jump from one relationship to another. If you know somebody is meant to be in your life and they're having to release a karmic relationship right now, don't crowd them up. Give them some space to heal. Let them have time to absorb the truth. Your wishes are coming true. Just be patient. Alright. Anything else you want to say? There will be this harmony. This is the Six of Cups type energy. I see Jasmine here. Why is the Fool on the bottom of the deck? Because you're about to have some positive movement forward, finally. These relationships, these karmic relationships are about to be released. And we're going to move forward real fast. That's the Eight of Wands. We're moving real fast towards this new start. But people need time to release these karmic relationships. Don't crowd them in. Don't crowd yourself in. Don't jump out of one relationship into another because you don't know how to be alone. That's the whole point of these relationships down here. Is to learn how to handle yourself. Give yourself time to heal from these unhealthy relationships. And don't blame anybody. These relationships were always meant to be released, okay? Alright, what else, Spirit? What comes after this positive movement forward? You might be seeing a lot of eights. That's that infinity symbol. You could be seeing a lot of twos also. Wisdom. You're gaining wisdom. We've seen wisdom over and over again in this message. We're wising up. We're moving towards wising up. Got power on the bottom of the deck. What about wising up? There's a little doggy. Somebody has a doggy they love. Why are we wising up? For this spiritual strength that we need for this new start. Temptation on the bottom of the deck. Why is the Fool here? Discontent and boredom came out. Why is discontent and boredom in the middle of this beautiful message? Spirit's giving us spiritual strength instead of allowing us to get bored, I guess. Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on from something that was no longer fulfilling us so we can have prosperity. But right now we're in the planning stages of it. We're in the planning stages of this new beginning and having this patience. Just repeating the same message. We're moving on from something that we were no longer fulfilled from and we were bored with. Same message over and over. Anything else? This is my last shuffle. Right now we're in the waiting game because of divine timing. There's the 2 again. And we're gaining this stability. Some of us are still learning to be stable. And there's going to be, I would say, you know, like I said in the video yesterday, that December, around December, is when a lot of these new relationships will start forming. They might begin soon and actually be a full-blown relationship by December. Any communication. Oh, baby. The throat chakra. Balance. Balance. We're going to have balance about this mental conflict. And then we're going to celebrate our material and spiritual prosperity. I cannot make it up. I just said, are we going to have communication? The throat chakra came out. And there's not going to be so much obsession. The obsession is going to finally stop. You're not going to be desperate. I listened to a message this morning while I was waking up. And the whole message was about how desperate somebody was. And it was like 30 minutes of this. And I was like, why am I still listening to how desperate somebody is? Are you ever going to give anybody any hope? I mean, you've identified the problem. What's the solution, man? I had to finally turn it off. I can't listen to a reading that's just all negative like that. It drains my energy. Again, firm foundation. We're not at this new beginning, y'all. But that's what's coming. That's what's coming. We're not there yet, though. We're still planning. And I know that's not very encouraging. Or maybe it is, but we are where we are. And right now, we're going through dismantling these karmic relationships that have caused us a lifetime of pain, however long that might be. Alright, so I'm going to cut it off there. I did want to get us a message, though, out of these, because they're so beautiful. And anything else that Spirit wants to give us today. Spirit, what would you say to us out of this deck of cards right here this morning? This is kind of a sobering message, but sometimes we need that. Complicated and belonging. Honesty and belonging. got to get through this denial first. Oh! Alright, I'm going to take the ones that are on the table. Honesty, oath, and message. Honesty, oath, and message. Let's see what Spirit's saying. We know what honesty is, right? Let's see what honesty means in this book. My darling, you have chosen the symbol of clarity and true communication. Now is the time to be absolutely honest with yourself about what you want, what you're thinking about, what your motives and real feelings are. Honesty is the way to truly step into your power. When you choose honesty above all else, as your goddess, I will send you courage to do the right thing. This is also a time to demand honesty and integrity from others. You have a right to get clear messages. There is the greatest freedom and power in telling the truth. And we had that yesterday. Oath number 49. Oath. My lovely child, you have chosen the symbol for oath. This is the symbol for all promises and is a reminder to keep the ones you have made. An oath is never made lightly nor in jest. Promises are meant to be honored. When you choose this symbol, perhaps it's time to look at how you have made your promises. Have you crossed your fingers behind your back, relinquishing the magic that binds you to your oath? Has anyone broken his or her promise to you? Let the person go. Don't hold on if someone refuses to be honorable. You don't want this person in your life. For now, the most important promise you can make is to yourself. Promise to be kind, loving, honorable, and good. Do no harm. To belong to me, you must keep that promise. And then message number 45. This means something to somebody. It means something to me. Get ready and pay attention. You're about to get a message with special meaning. If you would, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Maybe someone will text you something nice, or you will find out about something in a phone call from a friend. Perhaps a letter will come in the mail, or maybe I will send you a sign in nature that will point you in the right direction. Regardless of what you ask, you will soon know the answer, or at the very least know the way. A message is coming. Choose another card if you need to know what the message will be about. And I guess right here would be a good place to do an extended, wouldn't it? Alright, what might that message be about, Spirit? What might that message be about? Can you show us what that message might be about for the collective? What message is the collective about to get? These cards are resistant. Stop resisting and just allow Spirit to speak to us, please. What might this message be about? I guess I gotta take them. Damn it. Chaos and focus. Chaos and focus. And then invisible again. Remember, invisible? Not being out there. Don't put yourself out there. Not a good time to put yourself out there right now. Okay, number 9. Chaos. A storm is brewing and misunderstandings are all too common as chaos swirls around your life right now. My child, you have nothing to fear. I am here to remind you that after a storm, the air is cleared and life will begin again even better than before. The silly thing is, if you refuse to take shelter, you will get soaked and you may have to repair a lot of damage. If you created the chaos, you will have to clean it up. But if others are the cause, you must step out of it and wait out of the storm. You will be glad you did. A good thing to say to yourself is, no drama. Okay? And you know whether you created the storm that's on the way or not. Okay, focus. My child, when you draw this symbol, it is a wonderful sign that with focus you will achieve what you want. If I give you an arrow and a bow to use, Sagittarius, that might be about you, baby. How will you shoot and hit your mark? This is a reminder that you must let go of all distractions and have the courage to give it your all. Your arrow will be drawn to whatever you focus on, so keep your eye on the target. However, remember that you can't control every outcome. Just as the wind can influence the path of your arrow, there are many factors determining the course of your plans. To achieve anything, you must focus, take aim, and let go. And then on the bottom of the deck is invisible. Sometimes you may feel like you don't fit in, as if you are invisible to others. As your goddess, I see you, I know you, and I believe in you. Know that not everyone has the ability to recognize you fully, and that perhaps they are so caught up in their own stories that they can't see you. It's okay, because those who can see you are the important companions on your path to finding your magic. Another meaning for the symbol you have chosen is that circumstances may require you to step back and remain in the shadows. Now is not the time for you to tell all and show everyone your truth. Being invisible protects you from harm right now, so that you can observe your surroundings without being vulnerable. Stay hidden and watch what others do before acting. Remember the beginning of this message where I said it was time to take a step back and just watch what happens? Confirmation. There's chaos coming and you're going to get communication about it. But Spirit's saying, and I've been saying back here, give people space to release these relationships. Don't react. Don't react. Don't be excited that somebody else's relationship is being destroyed. It's not something to be excited about. Be patient. There is a time for moving on, but that time is not now. Right now, there's time for healing. Okay? It's time for healing. There will be a new beginning if we surrender these unhealthy relationships. We are going to have a new love, and that might just be a love for ourselves. Anything else you want to say, Holy Spirit, before I close this message? Let me get one of these right here for whoever might resonate with this Shaman's Dream Oracle. They're pretty cool cards as well. Alright, what would you say to us out of the Shaman's Dream? And I love how slippery they are. Those other cards are stuck together. These are very nice and... oh, that's a lot of cards, Spirit. Alright, I got Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. I got New Beginnings. I got Beginner's Mind. And I got Fool's Embrace. And this is about preparing for something to come to fruition. Preparing, just like I've been saying, we're preparing for this new beginning so that we can have a beginner's mind and transmute the pain. Which one do you want me to read, Spirit? And then on the bottom of the deck is the Root Girl. The Disowned Self. Wow, these are deep freaking cards, Spirit. Let's read the 22, the Fool's Embrace. Transmuting pain, allowing life to love you, the experiences of both land. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We're kept hostage by the way we identify with the pain and what we have and what we make it mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. No matter where on the spectrum of pain you find yourself now, whether it be a mild disappointment or a searing loss, It's time to make peace with it, befriend it, rather than resisting it, running from it, or judging it as bad or unfair or hostile. Can you see the gift that is here? Surrender to the fool's embrace, allowing the truth to envelop you in love and compassion. What if you could learn something amazing from this? And that's exactly what I've been talking about, is letting go of this pain and these people that were supposed to be significant relationships in our life, but they turned out to be significant lessons in our life. And then Root Girl, this disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for acceptance and love. Root Girl sits shivering, unclean and naked at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe, burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that, reiterated, can lead to the wholeness and true purpose? This is part of you, the embodiment of the deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others and or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self-crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. Ah, but if you would only look into the Root Girl's eyes and see the beauty in the unmet need, your unmet need, you will realize that this part of you asked for compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it is this child's self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. And this is exactly what this whole message has been about, was realizing that the purpose of our relationships has mostly been karmic. And that we have to realize that the purpose of this lifetime for many of us has been to detach from people that were supposed to be significant, to detach from a loving mother, to detach from having a caring father, to detach from having siblings who are always going to be there to have your back, to detach from children who you desperately wanted to be a part of their life, but circumstances in life would not allow it. People in life would not allow it. Because no matter how hard we tried, there was never enough. But it's not them. Look beyond the fact that we need to blame somebody and realize that these were the lessons you were sent here to learn, and see the beauty in it and move beyond this pain. That's the best advice I can give you, if I may give you any at all. That's where I'm at. And I'm okay with that today. I'm okay with that today. Alright, you guys, that's the message. I know it wasn't a feel-good message today, but they're not always going to be. Please let me know how you resonated with the video. You can do that by private email, or you can write something in the comments. May I have tickets, please, still. And please subscribe to the channel if you found this helpful in any way. Alright, y'all, I got a tennis racket with a ball. I got my unicorn. I got a seahorse. Seahorses mate for life. I've got an arrow that says love. 2 hearts connected. I have an anchor. I have a skull and crossbones. I have a huge infinity sign that says love. I have a dove with an olive branch. I have a music note. I have a heart with wings and a keyhole. I have an elephant with a really long trunk. I have a heart with twins in it, a boy and a girl. That's my twin flame token. I have a cross with wings. I have a tree of life inside of a star. I have that angel on the bridge with the children. I have another angel. I have an owl. I have 2 teddy bears connected. I have another owl. You probably are seeing owls. Somehow this relationship is significant with owls. The karmic relationship, maybe. I have a starfish. I have a butterfly. I have a shell. I have 2 shells, y'all. Somebody's name is Shell. I have another star. I have a heart with a cross in it. I have another angel. I have a compass. I have a coin. Maybe you're into cryptocurrency. I have a crown. I have a deer. I have a cat. I have a fancy heart. I have another elephant. I have another tree of life. I have another cross with Jesus on it. And I have a gasket or a gear. Maybe you're a mechanic. Trinkets, please, Holy Spirit, from this other bowl here. I have a skull. I have an angel wing. I have in every fair from fair sometimes declines, William Shakespeare. Y'all, I have 3 towers again today, and one of them is holding on to an infinity sign for dear life. I have a feather. I have a lotus flower. I choose strength. I have a very fancy heart. I have a cross. I have a sailboat. I have a ball. And I have a tramp stamp. And I'm going to try to get to those private readings today amongst me doing my own meditation and trying to get some clarity in my own life for releasing these karmic relationships that have been weighing me down so long. Alright, I have faith. Faith, 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 faith. Everywhere faith. I have kindness. I have courage. 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 Spirit's going to give us courage to do this, y'all. I have inspire. I have wealth. And I have passion. And I love you guys. Please don't forget to like the video. It does help because more people will see it when you like it. Subscribe. And that's a good energy exchange, right? Is to just do these simple things to help me grow the channel. And also share the video. If you know that you have friends on your social media who enjoy this kind of thing, let them know. You know, if you're not trying to keep it secret for whatever reason. And I would hope not. Alright, you guys. I love you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.